Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you're liking the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you'd like to reach out to us on social media, you can find us on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Casting Roles ILM. Our videos are uploaded on our YouTube channel on Fridays. But with no other announcements, we'll go ahead and start the show. Cut out. So ticket takers, after arriving back in Nuevea at the heels of a potential dark prophecy kind of chasing you back from the town of Brogtown, you dealt with some familial issues as well as revealed some secrets to people. But in the intervening moments, there was an assault on the the city of Nuevea by 4 dragons and their draconid minions at the behest of the King Ahriman to take the Zephrysite needed for something of his own making. A battle ensued in which the ticket takers were rushing to help Orisha reach the Hearthstone so she could activate the defenses which Oguan, Jaren, and Praetor Yakuzi had been working on for the last couple weeks. And you dealt with a dragon, you dealt with draconid hordes while the battle raged throughout the city with the defense forces trying to drive off these invaders. You made your way deep into the Hearthstone, where Orisha began her spell casting, and it was then revealed that there was a force of working for the Shadow who killed Tayo Asara, and then tried to prevent Orisha from casting the final moments of the spell. The ticket takers valiantly fought off these individuals, Stolovan Musa revealing to be a Slod in disguise, and with some careful work from all of you, managed to protect Orisha and allow the device to go off. You then
We really threw a monkey wrench into their plans.
About 8 of them. About 8 monkey wrenches. And then you made your way back up to the palace, where you discovered that much of the city was damaged and in flames, the palace itself suffering damage. And you encountered Oguan almost dying at the hands of a deadly poison, but with the help of both Alyria and Anzel, were able to rescue him and save him, even though he had suffered some very serious damage from the battle. But at the last moments, the spell finally took hold, and a shield surrounded the entire city as it lifted off of its mountain base and flew into the sky. So ticket takers, as you stare out across the city, smoke and fire burning in locations, you can see people kind of gathering and moving just around the palace grounds to begin some of the cleanup work. And you watch as the clouds above you kind of begin to match the height of this new cloud city in Alyria. What would you like to do?
I would like to tap Jury and go message Amalia, please.
Okay, it's one of my last slots of that level. I have to cast it one higher level. Jury pauses for a second as you ask him this, and he looks at you and he's like, "Don't you have something to message her?"
Why the fuck would you call me out like that?
I didn't think about this all week.
We start the episode. Actually, I can't make today's.
I literally have been this all week, Jason, plotting against you.
I fucking hate you.
I like how Jay started this with "Hey guys, I'm really tired. Nothing from
yeah,
you,
take pity on me. He immediately comes
30
behind me,
go
fucking
by.
Cat in the Hat, Mike Myers style with the baseball bat.
I got it.
Anyway, I don't talk to Jury because I fucking hate him. Message Amalia.
Okay, you can go ahead and message Amalia.
I'd like to go, hey, I'm fine. Where are you?
There's a moment as the spell goes through, and then you hear a response a moment later. I'm also all right. I had made my way down into the city looking for family. Didn't quite make it all the way, but I'm all right. Mm-hmm.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay.
Okay, Josh, I want to message you something.
Okay.
I asked if anyone knows where the rats are.
I don't think we've heard from them.
They're not high enough level to message you, except one of them has Kaimana has, yeah.
Sending stone.
Hey, Mona, can you check in on them?
One ringy dingy.
All right. So, what message do you send to them,
Yeah, what
Kaimana?
do you say?
How is everyone doing?
Okay. so the message goes through, and a moment.
He does it's like, oh, you've got a character limit. Or nope, doesn't.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. The short. Very short.
That's
And sweet.
what he wants to know.
Yep, there you go. A moment later, you hear back the voice of Beaker. We're all right. When the fighting started, we kind of bunkered down in like an alleyway and found our way down into the sewers. There's a lot of people that were hiding down here, so we're trying to help them get back to their homes.
They're in the sewers. They're fine.
That's good to know.
That is good to know.
I would like to go make sure that the body of the Queen's consort doesn't get defiled while we just left it on the ground next to the big old crystal.
Okay.
That actually ties into something that I was going to do. That there's the Queen there, and she's got her guard, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go find one of them and pull them aside and let them know that the consort has passed. This is where he is. I don't want to be the one to break it to her. It's your job to protect her. So
yeah.
Now your problem.
They kind of look at you and then go, we will let the sovereign know and make sure that his body is returned to the palace.
He was very brave and made a sacrifice. That helped save the city.
He was a good man. She will be comforted to know that he gave his life in defense of Nuevea.
I don't think we would be here if it wasn't for him.
I might be able to bring him back.
They kind of look at you a little, kind of squint a little. That would be a conversation to have with the sovereign. Whether or not that is something that they would. What do you have? Resurrection magic?
I kind of have learned some things now, and I think I can make it work. He just did a really good thing for everyone, and I feel like he earned it.
Okay. I will let the sovereign know that you are offering those services. And the Abura kind of steps off to the side and goes to their commander to communicate that information to them. Meanwhile, like the sovereign and the Abura and other people are having conversations over there, and she doesn't immediately interrupt what they're talking about, but will communicate that in a few moments. Yeah.
Yeah. As we're all kind of like grouped together, I'm like, is there anyone else unaccounted for we know of? Need to check on?
Your mom?
My mom, I already talked to her. She's fine.
Not
But
your mom?
Yeah, we're gonna have to. That's gonna be a whole separate thing.
Are we sure she's fine?
She's a powerful Fae person, I guess. I think they're supposed to be powerful, so.
What if she's a slide?
Kaimana, I like put my little hands in. I take your little hands, and I'm like, respectfully, my mother is not a slot.
How can we be sure?
Then I would be part slod. And right now, I'm just blue. When did I turn blue? Was anyone? When did this happen?
You do all notice that Jerry's blue.
See, some frogs are blue.
That's not. Listen, your druid bullshit. That's not the same.
I saw pictures of something called a porpoise that was also blue.
I am not a porpoise or a frog or a slod. None of my family is.
I love hearing Ace from the other room. Through the headphones.
Is you're like standing here too, and I like touch Abel's arm, and I'm like, "Are you doing okay?"
I'm fine.
You don't have to say you're fine if you're. I don't think anyone would be fine in this situation.
Well then, honestly, I am not fine, but
yeah.
I must focus on what is important. I'm going to go with my father to the healers, and hopefully my mother will join me.
What do you need from us? Anything.
Right now, my biggest concern is finding Yakuzi, to find out exactly what he knew about this attack and what hand he played in it.
Sure. Have there been any... Does anyone know where he is right now?
I'll ask the Sovereign if she's willing to dedicate any of the Ebola to find Yakuzi. Apparently he had played a part in this attack. He was at least partially responsible for the deaths that occurred here today and what happened to my father.
The Arisha kind of turns. Part of the conversation that we were having was the next steps in order to assault the clockwork and remove Yakuzi from his seat there. I am going. Abel, you may as well if you would like.
As long as mother is staying with father, then I would love to join.
Oh, the Arisha was saying that, sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
She's going?
Yes. You can see like there is a seething anger in her eyes. You know your mom well enough to know like this is the lioness of Nuevea. Her job is to protect Nuevea, and she's looking out at a city that was able to be successful in its defense, but suffered great losses. And this is something that she can do in this moment. Mm-hmm.
Do you think he
definitely
knew
would join
that?
me.
Do you think he knew that? I just wrote it down. Sullivan was actually a slod.
We are sending Ebora to his quarters now to do an investigation. If any of you would like to go aid in that, we trust the ticket takers and their work. Mm-hmm.
I would like to help.
Yeah,
Me too.
me and Mar are slot experts.
You say that, Jury, and you turn and look, and
I said it on purpose because I knew
and Marlo is not there.
I say it, and then I turn and I go, Able sir, every time.
It's your consistency that we admire.
Yeah.
How do you know so much about slides, Jerry?
Right.
Does no one see them go? No one?
Nope.
God.
It would be interesting to see if there are any chess pieces to be found.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
All right. So, Odisha and Abel making your way to the clockwork. Source Kamana Jury going with a group of the Abura to investigate the chambers of Solovan Musa. And Marlowe, you making your way deeper into the palace, following your nose. Right, so...
Before...
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, Mother, before we leave, I'll turn to Anansi and I'll ask him, stay with my father. If anything happens, alert me immediately.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah. Anansi kind of flies over to your dad, and you can see that he's being kind of escorted off to the chambers where he and Orisha stay in the tower in order to kind of rest and also get some more medical attention in this moment as well. So Anansi kind of flies off with them and goes in that direction. All right, let's see where we'll start. All right. So going with the Abura and heading deeper into the palace, Source Kamana Juri, you make your way to Solovan Musa's quarters, which are fairly large section of the palace where he keeps stay. They go up to the door, and you see one of them takes out like of a master key and unlocks the door and opens it up. And
before they do that, I would say, well, knock first.
One of them kind of turns and kind of looks at you and then opens the door. And then you kind of enter into this chamber, which is dimly lit by kind of sconces in places with magical light. And it seems fairly not like super... This is not a flaunting of wealth here. It's very simple quarters with furniture, bookshelves, and not a lot in this entry space. Within these chambers, there are also his bed quarters, an office space, kind of a bathing area. It's not a huge makeup at anything, but there's plenty places here for you to look around. And the Abura kind of post up, and they they kind of look to you, Source, and they say, we are not exactly investigators, but we have heard that the ticket takers have solved many crimes of sort. Feel free to have reign of the space, but do not take anything from within it.
Search for traps.
Okay, so you're searching the space for traps. Okay, so go ahead and make an investigation check, Source.
I would like
and
help.
the office is the most likely place to have something, so I will start with that door going into that area.
All right, so you search the office door, and Kamana's kind of tagging along with you and helping, so you have advantage on your check.
Okay. Investigation. 17.
Okay, the door is locked, but it is not trapped.
Key, please.
The Abura presents one and hands it over to you.
Come on,
I'm going to stand back in case I'm wrong.
All right, so you go over, unlock the door. It swings open into a fairly large office space, large central desk, several bookshelves here, display cases with various different objects or artifacts on them, but none of them seem like expensive in make, but maybe personal in make, like maybe a piece from his home area within the community, like a design work that is maybe a hand-carved object or things like these are sentimental objects that are displayed here. The desk is messy. There are paperworks and things all over the space. Make a perception check for me. With advantage because Kamana's pointing things out for you as well.
That's a flower vase.
That would be a 24.
The first thing that you notice is that there is like a veneer of dust on a lot of the stuff in this space.
Is there anything that's not dusty?
No. It almost seems as if this chamber has not been opened in weeks.
Still going to search it anyway.
Okay. Go ahead and so you kind of search around any place particularly that you want to focus your energies.
Start with the desk.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
And I want to look for forced entry signs.
Like in other spaces around the chamber?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and make a perception check for me first to start
I
off.
take off my glasses and I can't tell if that's 15. No, that's a 16 plus 4. That's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. So the paperwork's on the desk. There's notes and papers and all kinds of objects here. You're kind of looking for things that stand out to you. I mean, most of the stuff here is about the, like building of a new tram system, the cleanliness of the sewer systems, like very much the running of the day-to-day business of the city, which Sullivan, as the voice of the people, kind of almost operates as like a mayor to the city of Aryri. And it's just like looking at the pads of paper and the writing here, you just notice that it's been about 2 weeks since he's done anything, taken a note, written something down, drafted a memo. All of this is about 2 weeks in the past.
Which makes me wonder if he's not been slotted as well.
Was this not the
This is Sullivan. Yeah, the Musa.
Yeah. No, I mean, sorry. That gives us a timeline.
Yeah.
What kind of minister would he be if he didn't have a secret stash somewhere?
Okay.
So, secret drawers in the desk, bookshelf.
With a 20 on the desk, you do discover kind of a false bottom to the desk itself, like the top part of the desk. None of the drawers have false bottoms or anything, but when you're kind of touching, you find a switch at the back of the desk and you hit it and the bottom kind of falls down a little bit and catches on a string. And there are some papers here that were hidden away or tucked away. And you pull them out and look at them. It looks very much like somebody building a case against the presence of Ogwan and Orisha on the council.
Oof.
It's notes on over expenditures in the mines. It's notes on over expenditures within the defense system. It's notes on veil incursions that were not dealt with in a proper, like in what he deemed as a fast enough manner, which would have been Orisha's goal. But it seems like he's putting together kind of. This is very clearly a man who is not happy with these two particular individuals sitting on the council.
Does it look to be older than 2 weeks old?
Again, none of these notes are like the most recent one is maybe 5 or 6 months old. So this is something he's been putting together for probably a couple of years.
The actual Sullivan.
This was the actual Sullivan, yeah.
Well, it means he might have not been killed. He might have willingly gone with this and swapped out on purpose. I'm like over your shoulder reading the notes.
I hand the notes to Jury.
Thank you. Mars not here, so thank you.
Try. Kaimana, would you prefer the bathroom or the bedroom?
I'll check the bedroom.
Okay, so Kaimana's going to the bedroom, so then Saurus the bathroom?
No, I'm going to go
and go together? Okay, cool. So Kaimana, searching around the bedroom, go ahead and make a perception or investigation check with advantage.
22.
22. You kind of enter into the bedroom space, large bed, very comfortable looking. Very similarly, this space doesn't seem like it has seen a lot of attention in the last however long. The bed clearly hasn't been slept in for a while. But there are random things around the space that like an old plate of food that is kind of desiccated or dried out, like that has just been left there. Empty glass of water next to the desk, or empty glass of water, empty glass next to the desk. And then random reading materials and things kind of strewn around on the bedside table. The only thing, there's a couple like In the armoire door is a locked door. So you'd have to. This would not be something that the Abuda would have a key for you. So you'd have to break into this space. But then the drawers. Yeah.
Fortunately, I have proficiency with thieves' tools.
Okay, so Soros, you can go ahead and make a sleight of hand or a thieves' tools check, which is dexterity plus proficiency, to try to pick the armoire.
27.
Yeah. Simple lock. You kind of jimmy, and it clicks open and pops, and you discover the armoire is hiding a. Like basically a wet bar. There's tons of alcohol here. Clearly Sullivan didn't want people to know that he was taking nightcaps, so he hid this away. But there's very fine bottles of alcohol here, and glasses and tinctures and things like that. But you do notice there's an ice box nearby that is half full of water. There is a kind of a sifter glass with a pour of alcohol in it, but you can kind of see where the alcohol and water have mixed together there, and those are just sitting in the wet bar.
So it was like he was taken in the night.
It would make sense.
Are there is there anything in there that's not like it's like laudanum or something, or is it just like booze?
Make a medicine check for me.
21.
No laudanum or things like that, but you do find a small sachet of spice. The stuff they Kaimana has.
Ooh. The drugs?
Yeah.
The spice is the life.
The mushroom drugs.
Illicit substance?
I rolled a 16 to try to see if there was like any sign of a scuffle or like forced entry anywhere.
And you're looking in the bedroom space, or are you looking just kind of...
I was kind of looking, I feel like they're looking at specific stuff and I'm kind of like...
Just checking the whole apartment.
Yeah.
So you don't notice anything out of the ordinary in terms of like a scuffle, blood stains, scratches on the walls, anything like that. But with the 16, what you do notice is that there is like one of the bookshelves has clearly been moved. Like you can see on the kind of the rug where the rug is gathered up to one side as if the bookshelf was pushed to the side and kind of bunched up the rug.
Oh my god, secret door. I like start trying to move the bookshelf, but I'm so weak.
Yeah, you can't move that on your own. It's a large wooden bookshelf.
You just see Jerry.
Jerry, why are you leaning on the bookshelf?
Roll a strength check for me.
The mage hand comes up to try to help.
Roll a strength check for me just to make sure you don't accidentally like push the bookshelf over or something.
I got an 18.
An 18. So you're kind of pushing against it, and it is sliding along with the rug, but it's not enough for you to get it out of the way of that space. You need an extra set of hands on it.
I look at both of you.
One of those helps.
Okay, so between Soros and Jury, you're able to kind of slide the bookshelf out of the way. And this is the first time that you see blood. Like behind here, you can see where some of the plaster on the wall has been cracked as if something was thrown into it. And there is a little bit of blood kind of running down from the higher portion of the crack as if maybe somebody's head hit it or they were leaning against it and bleeding, but it's just running down the wall. And the person probably was able to clean any blood that was on the floor, but then pushed the bookshelf to the side to cover this kind of like they've pushed it about 2 or 3 feet to the right of where it would normally sit. And it's covering this in the wall.
Well, there goes our buddy idea. Unless they killed someone else in here.
Is it about the right height?
Like the crack?
Yeah.
Based on just the height of a human being, they would have to have been like sitting or like hunched over when they were thrown into it, because it's about a Kaimana height of crack, but it's almost like Atwood was thrown into the wall during a play.
He's been there.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Trigger warning next time.
Oh, so sorry.
Hey, that wall broke.
It did. This wall's cracked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cursory search of the bathroom, but at this point, I think we found all we're going to find.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check in the bathroom.
I will help.
Soris in
With
the
advantage because
bathroom.
Come On is helping.
Soris in the bathroom by him. Well, come on.
16.
Yeah, you don't think you find anything. And then you're jiggling around with random stuff and you pull up the drain stop and you hear a clack, and the bathtub bottom falls out.
What's there?
You look down and there is a chamber beneath this chamber that goes into.
Chamber pot chamber. Chamber pot chamber.
Door?
The immediate smell that comes up of it is one of death.
I wondered where they put the body. Could smuggle something.
I'll go
bad
down.
out.
Okay, so Soros, you go down in the dim light. This is kind of like a space that was clearly kind of dug out between the two levels of the castle. Sullivan's on an upper level. This is kind of below. So this is that like space between the ceiling of the floor below and the floor of this room above. And you kind of are looking through and you see off in the back, kind of pushed aside, the body of a man who looks suspiciously like Sullivan Musa if he had been alive 4 weeks ago.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, I go back up and I let the Ubora know what's going on.
Okay. They are covering their nose as the kind of smell is wafting out of the bathroom. Thank you. It is good to know that he was not an evil man.
Yeah. He was just a big frog monster. Later.
Wow.
Probably worth at some point zone of truthing everyone and making sure there's not any other ones. Just a suggestion, you know, and make sure we're all good there.
There are other methods. Princess Alyria has been talking to us about some tools at her disposal that could quickly...
Like a detect evil and everything. Okay, perfect.
Yes. All right. So, anything else in this space, ticket takers, you'd like to do?
Nope.
All right. So, moving from there, Marlo, you're making your way. Well, actually, you're eating. Never mind. Abel.
Bar's ready.
You're ready?
Wait.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, Marlo, you are making your way through the palace, kind of following your nose, kind of dodging in and out from the guards. But right after this battle sequence, there's a lot of people not really paying attention to what's moving or shaking in this space. And you're following a scent. And you get to a kind of a resplendent chamber doorway that is closed and locked. But you can tell that this fragrance is coming from inside there.
I knock.
Okay, you knock. A moment later, the door kind of creaks open. Yes? Is everything all right to come out now? It's
Yeah.
Vicus. He opens the door. Oh, it's you.
Hi.
Is the fighting over?
Yes. We're in the clouds now.
He kind of points behind him, and you can see a large window at the
All
back
right.
of his
Well,
chamber.
I was just trying to keep you
Yeah.
updated. But you're okay.
No.
I mean, are you physically?
You could.
I know mentally, no, but
Yes, I'm uninjured.
okay. Good. I'm glad.
I went to go tell my mother, but then the attack happened, and so I came to her room instead, and I couldn't. I should have gone out and helped, but
No, there's no should have in situations. like that. You're the prince. You protected yourself. That's important.
Did they seem like they were worried about where I was?
Did Bart notice that anyone was like, "Oh boy, where's Ficus?"
Nobody mentioned him like in the
Oh
war chambers.
Are you gonna roll deception there, buddy?
I'm gonna say I was not here during the majority of the fighting. I was in Ogon's lab trying to get the thing off, and I didn't stick around long when people were talking here.
Well, when the dragon hit the palace, I knew that there was many people running around and trying to fight it back. I would be the least of their concerns in that moment, I suppose.
Well, I don't. You know, your bedroom's pretty warded. I mean, maybe they just assumed you were safe in there.
Yes. Was my mother in her the throne room?
Yeah. She's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna not go there then. I'm going to stay. I don't. Where's a I don't want to be in the way. I don't want to cause more harm.
You haven't, Marcus. I really don't think you've caused any harm. I mean, I don't know a lot about you, but I really, I don't think it's like you're thinking.
Okay. Well. Would you like to have some tea? Or something? Just a moment of just a moment of time in all of the chaos.
Yeah, Vicus, I would love.
Okay. He opens the door and welcomes you into the chambers, and this is the Sovereign's chambers. They're gorgeous. And you can kind of see off to the side there's a pot on a kind of a magical kettle pot, and he pours some water into it, and it begins to heat up, and he sets out two glasses or two mugs.
I move forward and I'm like, I assume there's really good tea in here. I have this lavender one. It's supposed to be really good for relaxation. I don't know if that's the vibe we're going for. That would be the vibe I'm going for right now. I don't know about you, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. Can I smell it?
Yeah.
So he kind of takes it from you, and that is delightful. It's vanilla too. Whoever made this was putting forth a lot of love into their craft.
All right.
And then he goes to he pours it into the pot, and it's heating up, and then he pours out two cups once they're steaming cups. Honey?
Sure.
Yeah. He kind of takes a swivel of honey and pours it into each, and then hands it over to you. I even, since as a child, have not sit on the furniture in this room. Tea and standing, is that weird?
No. Maybe it's not what everyone does, but I don't think it's weird. We can stand if you're not in a sitting mood.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. He tries the tea. This is quite delicious.
I'm glad you like it.
Mm-hmm. Was there much damage to the city?
There's going to be a lot of rebuilding. Yeah, but it's, when I say this, it doesn't sound optimistic, but I truly mean it when I say it could have gone a lot worse.
Well, It might not be the right time to have a conversation with my mother then. She's got other things to worry about, right?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think it's fair to necessarily put yourself on the back burner. Just,
I'm a prince. That's what I was raised to do.
What the? God, you think the same way as Alyria? That's so fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm not criticizing your mother or the royalty structure. I mean, I could go off about the monarchy structure. That's off the table right now. I just, it's not fair. You people, you're practically kids, and it's not fair that you have to constantly feel like you're less important than any other person in this country. I'm not saying you're more important, but you're just as important.
That's means a lot for you to say.
Look, I know that you met me a couple hours ago, and I said some wild shit and bailed, and then a whole thing happened.
We met before. You don't remember?
Oh no, I do. I definitely did, Vicus. It just was so brief.
Yes. I felt I was quite ill on that journey.
Yeah.
I probably wasn't presenting myself in the best way.
No, it's not. It's not. I just didn't really. I was kind of focused on some other stuff at the time, and that's shitty of me. I didn't really put myself forward in that conversation. So that one's on me. But this is gonna sound so fucking pretentious. I see a lot of myself in you, and if you need a person to be there for you, then I am willing to be that.
He kind of smiles a little and tinks your tea glass. That would be to have someone to talk to sometimes. Would be nice. Yeah. I never really got along very well with Alyria or Abel growing up.
You know what? I don't get along so well with Abel right now. So, sometimes people just, and I love him. Don't get me wrong. I so love him. But sometimes it's the people closest to us, right?
He's a good man, though.
So are you.
Well, in some ways, I suppose. But he kind of sits back and drinks tea.
Yeah, I just, Mace and I drink tea.
Nice. I love how tea is so healing.
It can be so important.
Tea is so important. We're tea. We stand for tea.
Uncle Iroh
I was
was right.
just about to start
You're
singing.
so right.
No, we're not crying today.
We're not getting demonetized, nor will we crying.
I'm not crying until it's my turn to talk to my mom, all right?
Yeah.
And we're probably right.
Wow. Wow, the parallels there didn't fully hit me until I was like, wow, we both don't know how to cover. I was like, holy shit.
I'm just gonna read the chat. It's gonna.
Yeah.
That was the nicest awkward conversation I've seen in a long
Beautiful.
Vicus is an
impressive,
awkward little boy. And by that I mean 18-year-old man.
I'm adopting Vicus, dude. That's my
I
kid
love
now.
him. Honestly, I would die for him after that conversation. I love him.
Your little velvet boy. Just
He is a little velvet boy who also has a Rakshasa. So, all right. So Marlowe sitting down to tea. Abel, you've made your way with your mother down through the city elements, like kind of leaving the palace and flanked by Abora, but also it's the Lioness of Nuevea. And You're seeing kind of firsthand districts where it was heavy fighting, and city and buildings being destroyed, and rubble along the street, and there's fires burning that people are actively trying to put out.
Everyone.
But you make your way to the Clockwork, which was attacked during the fight, and you can see that this university kind of setup is a little damaged here. One of the large towers broken off at kind of the 3/4 portion, and rubble strewn along the within the space here. But there are people kind of walking around, beginning to clean up debris, and you can tell that each of these individuals are artificers in training at the very least, as they are using some form of magical contraptions or things to help along with this. It only takes a few moments for them to realize that who is striding into the Clockwork at this time. And people immediately kind of step back and clear ways. And there's whispers of the lioness. Is that the lioness? Going through the crowd as they kind of separate and clear a path as she makes her way to the front entrance. And she just kind of waves at the door, and it opens, and she steps into the space. Ava,
I can visualize how you've like set this up in your head. It's very much like the aesthetic of 3 women walking.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Because every time Arisha goes anywhere, it's that aesthetic. So she kind of opens the door and steps into the main chambers. And the first thing that hits you is like that familiar smell of a space that you spent a lot of time in as a kid. But like that tinge at the background of it of burning and char, which captures so perfectly for you in this moment, probably like what all of this symbolizes of like this place that is now damaged by what has happened. And she kind of looks up.
More ways than one.
Abel, would you like to lead the way to his chambers, please?
Absolutely, mother. I'm going to anticipating a fight. Has it been an hour? Is my ballista still?
It would have been an hour. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to choose the flamethrower, actually. Activate it.
Okay.
And lead the way to his chambers.
All right. So you make your
way. I guess we'll just ask, has anyone seen Yakuzi?
You run into a few individuals within the space, and they say like he returned from the battlefield about a half an hour or so ago, tending some wounds, and was headed to his chamber.
And he was completely alone?
Yes, as far as we saw, yes.
Okay. I'm going to head to his...
Okay. So you make your way up to the 3rd floor. This portion of the building, you can kind of see once you get to the 3rd floor, there's a part of the roof and the wall that was kind of blasted away by something. And there's just warm night air drifting in, although it's beginning to get this tinge of chill the higher of the elevation that the city grows. But you can see just the stars through this gap. And Yakuzi's door is kind of down a hall to the right. You make your way to it, and it's there before you.
Mm-hmm. On my way, do I see any signs of any drops of blood on the floor, smears of blood on like doorways?
Go ahead and make a perception check or an investigation check.
This will be an investigation. Thank you very much. Oh, so I'm gonna roll with it's fine. 27.
27. Yeah, you do see there are some spaces where there's blood, maybe like a scuff where somebody's foot had kind of scuffed through, or maybe is dragging like a little bit of blood on them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not a lot, but there is evidence of that in this hallway.
Leading towards his room. So I'll turn to my mother and I say, look, there's blood here. Based off this, how badly do you think he would be injured?
She kind of looks at it. Not injured enough.
I love her.
Okay. On we go then. And
All
I'll
right.
go towards his door.
Okay. Go
Can
ahead.
it be cashin that Orisha is Angela Bassett?
Oh, I've had this conversation with Abel that Arisha is 1000% Angela Bassett.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So you get to the door. Are you like,
Checking.
you're checking to see if it's trapped? Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Can I use my Tinkerer's tools?
Yeah.
Because I have a really high advantage with my Tinkerer's tools when I make checks with my tools.
Yep.
Holy shit. It was almost a 20. It's 22.
22. The door is locked, but there are no evident traps on the door.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Can I try and open the door? Unlock it.
Sure. Go ahead. Make a Dex plus proficiency check.
Or will this be a tool check?
Yeah, so you can add your tool bonus to that as well.
It's pretty high, so. Holy shit, man. I'm stopped. I can't roll virtual dice.
No.
Hey, a 15. A 15.
15. Okay, so you go and you're kind of working through the tumblers there, and you feel like your lockpick is beginning to bend beyond the point of where it might be smart to continue to try to force the lock. And so you pull back and you're unable to unlock the door.
Okay. Don't have time for this.
Would you like me to take care of it, Abel?
Yeah, I was going to use this. Please, mother.
She reaches out and puts a hand on the door, and you see her cast for a moment, and you hear this loud sound as the arcane lock spell hits and shatters whatever block was there, and the door begins to swing open.
I'm just going to push my way in.
All right. So you kind of push into the main chambers that you've seen since you were old enough to walk and talk. The comfortable couch, the warm fireplace at the end of the first hallway or the first chamber, the bookshelves that were filled with like literature beyond imagining for a young mind to voraciously fill his appetite. Sitting with his back to you, kind of staring into the fire, cross-legged, you see the familiar shape of Praetor Yakuzi.
I'm going to say, stand up.
It's a little complicated to do that right now, but I suppose for you, I can try. And he reaches to the side and he grabs kind of this mechanical cane and puts it down. I cannot stand without it, Abel.
Prop yourself on the chair.
He lifts up, and you can see when he stands, his leg above the knee is very, very damaged, and it was wrapped. And the blood that you saw in the hallway was blood that was escaping from a wound that he had treated, but there was too much blood coming from it. He kind of props himself up on the chair.
Explain to me what exactly you did.
Well, I hope you are not here for an apology. Because I have given much to this land for the last 100 years, but that is not something that I am able to give.
I never asked for an apology. I want an explanation. What have you done?
You've sat in this space so many times. You know how long-winded I can be with explanations. Would you like me to tell it as I see it?
I would like for you to tell me the truth. What hand did you play in this attack? And why would you betray Nuevea?
Betrayed Nuevea. From where I can see, and he looks out a window off to the side. I have saved Nuevea.
How do you believe that?
You may see me as a villain, young Abel, but the choices I made were ones made from the tough heart of love. Like coddled babes, Nuevea and Alyria have tottered into the future, still clasping at the invisible hands of long-dead parents. But that future is one of danger and destruction, and those like your mother and the sovereign refused to listen, to reason. When we called for greater defenses and a war footing, they said, no, we have only to fear the veil, that the Alyrian people are so welcoming to our space that it makes not sense to turn our weapons outward. Even here with the veil so close at hand, we look towards the sun, ignoring the growing shadows at our back. But it seems as if your father, lowly blacksmith that he is, was able to accomplish something that only the gods have done before. Our city flies, Abel. It is shielded. Necessity is the mother of invention.
You want Nuevea to fight Alyria?
No. But I want Nuevea to be ready to fight any war or battle that it must.
That is what we all want. A Nuevea that is strong enough to protect itself, no matter the danger.
And yet, my calls on the council to increase military spending, to increase training, to increase technological advancements were shot down by the likes of Tayo Asara and the Sovereign. Instead, we spent so much developing tram systems and public movements and things that would make the people happy. Happy people are not dead people.
If our only goal is to make Nuevea a stronger weapon, how are we improving the lives of the people who live on our island?
If the people are dead, Abel, then what does it matter whether we give them comfortable lives or not?
If the people's only goal is to strengthen Nuevea, then are they actually living their lives? I am all for protecting what we have, but we have to let people live their lives as well. We have to improve their quality of life. The only thing I want to know is, are you responsible for the slaughter that attacked my family and my friends?
He kind of looks at you. A slod was in Nuevea?
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead.
+6. Okay. That's easy. 12 and 18.
And 18. There is absolute, the kind of like, it's not shock as much as it is, what he says next, you read as truth because of what you picked up from the insight check. This is exactly what I am saying, Abel. We have opened our portals too much to the outside world. We have welcomed people in who make us unsafe. We have the veil at our back, and yet we do not prevent people from coming in and spreading who knows what in this space. We have allowed the damned Rakshasa to sit inches from the throne. You were raised to know better. I have heard the calls from you to protect us from these dastardly fiends. But it seems that some within this palace have forgotten the truth of the dangers that exist out there. And now you say that one of their dark numbers has walked within the veil, has almost killed your mother? It seems, Orisha, that I was correct and you ignored my call. And she just kind of steps back and puts her staff into the ground. I would recommend that you keep your conversation with my son. You would not like the way it goes when you talk to me. And he kind of looks down. A bold words from a woman who could not keep your father safe.
It's not... Oh, he said that to me?
Yeah, he said it to you.
Oh, this... Okay. If I were you, I would be very careful how you speak about my parents. My mother is showing a lot of restraint simply out of the respect for our relationship as my mentor.
You see him, like, he kind of moves his hands to the side, and you see the glowing orb of his prism kind of dancing around his hand. The lioness knows that a restraint is something I am showing too, so that the conversation can be peaceful. I do not have a fight with you. I do not have a fight with your mother. I do not have a fight with the Nuevian people. The king deserves to be punished for the choices that he made in the assault today. That is not what it was to be. I deserve to face consequences for my part in it. But
and what exactly is your part? I am begging you, give me.
He kind of reaches into a pocket and pulls out something and tosses it your way, and a bishop piece lands in your lap.
Oh, shit.
We have been working for the better part of 50 years to make sure that Alyria is safe from the Veil. Ahriman, while, as we can see, sometimes goes too far, the one thing that he wants is to protect this realm from the creatures outside that would snuff all life out. I provided technology. I provided resources in the form of smuggled Zephrysite to their cause, but it was not enough.
And you let me and others believe that perhaps our Rakshasa prince was the one who was responsible.
It is ironic, Abel. In the throne room, I remember it only being your voice making that call.
And now I see how I was manipulated into believing such a thing.
At my foot for the better part of 15 years, I taught you to truly fear the real dangers that Vicus and those like him represent. So it was good to hear you make that call. The lesson stuck, as it seems.
I know the history of what the Rakshasa did to our people.
I made sure that you did, of course.
I know how much we suffered for generations trying to fight them off. But it was not fair for you to put all of that hatred that I had and turn it towards Vicus.
I didn't have to. You did that.
Perhaps I did. But I can see more clearly now.
Yes.
Your involvement with the king is just an utter betrayal to Nuevea.
Yes. But look at us now.
There are better ways to protect Nuevea.
Perhaps.
Look at all of the destruction across our island. People are dead, Yakuzi. You can't justify that.
A few now, to prevent more later, perhaps. Again, the king went too far in his attack today. I was making plans to get him as much Sephrosite as he needed, but apparently that work did not meet his timetable. And he expedited things as a dragon is ought to do.
And so you see, you've thrown yourself in with an individual that you cannot trust to do what is right.
He stands up and he lifts a hand, and the wall to the side kind of shifts to the side, and it reveals something that he's shown you many times, a large window that just stares out at the back end of Nuevea. And below you, there are clouds kind of rising up. But from this vantage point, and it's the first time you've ever seen it from this angle, it's just the endless wash of dark, roiling, shadowy veil disappearing far off into the distance and covering everything that you can see from this angle. I used to look out this window with you and talk about the dangers of that. And we fly above it now. We are protected from it. Your father has done something incredible, and he is but a blacksmith. Imagine what a true artificer could do, Abel.
My father is the greatest man I have ever known. Watch the way you speak about him.
I do not mean any disrespect, but you are bigger and better than he. You have the potential to make something even greater.
I am who I am because of my father and my mother.
And he, as you're saying that, he pushes a book across the table in your direction. And definitely a little bit because of me.
Not even going to look at the book. Preta Anansi Yakuzi, you've admitted in your own words the crimes that you have committed against Nuevea. I ask you this one time and only one time. Surrender to our custody, the custody of the Lioness of Nuevea, to be imprisoned and judged by your people.
I would gladly go with your mother, Abel, if you take that with you.
I will pick up the book.
We all get a wish, Abel. Mine is fulfilled. It stands before me. That is yours. And he takes the prism in his hand and throws it, and your mother snatches it out of the air.
No.
And she kind of walks forward and binds his hands and carefully, she does not gently walk him out of the space, but he is hobbling out of the space there.
Well, she doesn't have to be one of those cops.
No, but like, she's not like letting him lean against her. She's just like walking him out, and he is limping out with his wound.
It's frog marching.
Mm-hmm. But you are left. She kind of turns and looks at you for a moment, and she leaves you alone in this space, which you spent probably most of your childhood in. And you see in front of you, like the book in your hand is On the Golden Light Order, a guide to the truest form of artificing.
I will slide it in my bag of holding.
Okay.
And did anyone else come with us? The Abora?
The Abora were waiting outside. So as soon as your mother crossed, like they begin to kind of flank her as they take him down the stairs.
Okay. While they make their journey, I'm just going to stay behind in his chambers and kind of collect as much information as I can that'll show his involvement as like the bishop with the a priori and just like sifting through all of his stuff.
Okay, so you go to his
bookcase, all that good stuff.
Go ahead and make an investigation check. We'll see how much you can gather.
Sure. Just straight investigation is a plus what? Ooh, 29.
Okay. You kind of search around the space. When you get into the bookshelf, you just remember there being places within the bookshelf where Yakuzi would often hide things. And he would only ever show you these things growing up as a small child in his under his tutelage. And he you remember you pull out one of the books there where you know that there's like a hidden compartment behind one of the bookshelves, and you kind of pull it out, and there are a handful of letters here which outline a series of events of Zephyrsite smuggling that was taking place out of the harbor that Yakuzi was orchestrating, that Zephyrsite was going towards Alyria at this time when Ahriman was not located in the Flying City yet. And then over time, as the Flying City became his new base of operations, conversations around using the smuggled airship that they had pulled out of development within Nuevea and had sent off to truck some of those goods back and forth between the Sky City. But then the last couple letters were definitely ones in which Ahriman was expressing great concern that the process was taking too much time. And Yakuzi telling him it would happen when it was like necessary, and that things would occur as they did, and that there was nothing to worry about. But Ahriman's language was very much, we don't know when, but we know that pressure is building at the Blight. It's only a matter of time. And that there seemed to be like this movement of needing to kind of up the ante of what Ahriman's doing. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there proof of membership in a priori of anyone else? Identifying any of the other members.
So any references to other members within these letters are all done via Tower, Rook. It does reference a couple pawns that were moving.
Would I perhaps be able to decipher who they are, or maybe narrow down the list based off of locations that are mentioned? Like, the Rook is operating in this area, he should have the supplies by, like, that type of thing, you know?
So from where Yakuzi's talking, you can tell that there's no other operatives within Nuevea. That Yakuzi's the one piece here. The one thing that is mentioned in one of the later messages is that the Rook is guarding the capital. It's referencing Alyria. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kratos.
And
which you might assume might be Kratos Hawk. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One last thing. Do I get any sense in any of his communications that he was working with anyone else? So they may not have been members of a priori, but did he pay off someone at the port to help smuggle the Zephyrsite out? Was he working with some of the Ibora to, as muscle or anything like that?
Based on the letters that are here, it doesn't implicate any members of the Ibora, but there is a captain of a guard, which I don't have his, where's his name? Oh, Josephus, captain of the guard, Josephus, who oversees some of the port area, and that he was the one who was making sure that the shipments from Yakuzi were going through without being checked.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to head back down and join. Join my mother.
Okay. You kind of exit the space and head back down. By this point, they're making their way, and the lioness is walking Yakuzi across the courtyard, and the students of this university who just fought on behalf of Nuevea and Yakuzi are looking at this, and the whisper of what is happening here kind of spreading out among them, but your mother pays no heed and continues to walk with Yakuzi. Once they get to a certain point, she kind of turns and looks at you. I'm going to get him back to the palace quickly. Are you okay to walk the rest of the way, Abel?
I would be fine. Can you indulge me just for one moment?
Of course.
Yakuzi, I'm going to turn towards him and literally disrespectfully frisk this man. Like, trinket, asshole, anything that he has on him, I'm taking off of his body.
Okay, good. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Do not use virtual dice.
No. 19, 20, 29.
29. So you find, there's a money pouch. There are rings and things of value that if you want to take, you can.
All of it.
You do find, you find his arcane, his arcane tool, which he uses to, perform his work. And
the Abora didn't take that from me. Like, kind of look at the Abora like.
Well, Orisha has him kind of bound up here, so I think it's pretty safe.
Yeah, he's good, but still, like, let's not take any chances.
In an interior pocket, you take that out, and you feel a ring, and you take that out, and attached to it is a note, and it says, "I knew you would look here. To the one who carries my teachings in the very weave of magic at his center, unlock the final puzzle, and you will have all you need to protect Nuevea and assert that protection on the world. Praetor Yakuzi."
Oh, Lord.
And he just kind of chuckles as you pull it out of his pocket and walk and kind of step away from him.
Amusing. And I'll throw it all in my bag of holding.
Okay.
What is his artificer focus?
You know that he is an artificer that no one else is.
Mm-hmm.
He invented his own form of artificing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
No, I mean, like.
Oh, what's his artisan implement? It is it looks like a simple, almost like a screwdriver.
He's got a sonic screwdriver?
Sure.
All right.
Looks at
I'll sit back and let them take him away.
All right. So your mother kind of takes him for a moment, and she focuses, and you see her vanish, and you can tell that she's teleported towards the palace with him. Made a purposeful choice to walk him across the grounds before she did that.
Oh man! Can I say to the students that are there?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna maybe climb up on some rubble or something, and I'll say it's impromptu. Yakuzi is no longer your leader. He is no longer head of this school. But the true purpose for this school remains. We are here to push Nuevea forward. Never forget that. That is our goal, and regardless of who leads us, Nuevea will always be why we exist. Not just for the land, but for the people here. Never forget that.
Make a performance check.
Why?
Or persuasion. Persuasion or performance.
No, I just wanted a cool speech, man.
It was cool, but this is to determine how many of these people respond well to you after seeing their principal.
Inspiration, jury? No.
Nuevea.
You have a standard inspiration that exists.
Do I really? Oh. Okay. What's an inspiration die though?
No, like if you choose to use inspiration, you re-roll the d20, and you can choose which number to use.
Okay, that was a 14. Hold on. A 15. 15.
You add anything to that?
Oh, flash of genius, right? Can
No,
I flash
I don't think that's not a saving throw.
I think it's.
Is it if it says ability check or saving throw?
I think it's either flash of genius. Sorry. You feat makes an ability check or saving throw.
Okay.
You add my intelligence modifier +6 up to.
Okay. So what does it look like when Abel, in the middle of his speech, uses Flash of Genius to sway the crowd?
As I am talking and I see more people gathering around myself, I'll, start speaking louder and with more, like intention and purpose. And at the very end, I'll hold up my flamethrower and I'll like let out a burst of very hungry.
Very hungry.
Fire!
All right. So they don't like clap or cheer because that would be a weird response to this type of message. But you can tell that they are definitely listening, and they're very intent on what you're saying. Like the firelight glittering in their eyes, and they go back to the work that they were doing of cleaning up this space. But you can tell that they're doing it with more energy and vigor.
Okay, so I just wanted them to know that like Yakuzi's done some bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
And don't let it dissuade you. Okay,
right.
I'm gonna walk back.
All right, cool. And so you make your way back to the palace. Meanwhile,
Sorry, I had to turn off my video because I had to murder a massive cockroach right in the middle of that. It was very upsetting to me.
That's okay.
Abel is going through it. Meanwhile, I too is going through it. Anyway,
that is perfectly okay.
Jury is standing.
I'll say about our spider, Ace.
Oh yeah, we had a big spider.
Ooh. So Jury standing around with Kaimon and Soros is like, where do you think Mar went? Like, she told me Amalia was fine. And then Jury like pauses for a second. He's like, oh, maybe I know. Never mind. Just forget I mentioned it.
Where?
Jury, sometimes I feel like you only ask us these questions so you get to answer them.
We can check. Here, let's go check. We go find Anzel, Bolton, and Alyria.
Okay, so you make your way kind of towards the area of the guest chambers or whatever, and Aloria's chambers are open. The door's open, and you kind of walk in, and they've got Bolton there, and Anzel is healing up some of his damage to his leg and to his arm, and you can see that Alyria has bandaged up the scar, like the cut on her face, and they kind of look up. Oh, ticket takers.
Jury's like looking around them.
What are you looking for?
Have you seen Mar? I really thought they would be here.
No. Last we saw Marlo, they were in the throne room with everyone else.
Us too. They're so mysterious. Still.
Why did you think that they would be here?
Because you're here, Alyria. Mar cares about you. Jerry's fucking so stupid.
Beat a 24 on insight.
I'm there listening to this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get to roll as well?
Yeah.
I got a 14.
Alyria.
I'm sus.
You got a what?
A 6.
Sounds legit.
Yeah.
You're like, that makes sense.
Yeah,
She
makes
does
sense.
like Alyria a lot.
Alyria just kind of squints at you.
In my head, I'm like, Alyria always clocks me. God damn it.
What the jury?
We're trying to cover all possibilities.
Bolton, how are you feeling? You look like shit.
Bolton is like, I feel like shit, but it was very quiet in here up until about 5 minutes ago.
Wow, I wonder what happened. Do you need more healing?
No.
At least Jury did it to your face instead of messaging you this time.
Yeah, I don't think my head could take it. And you guys see, like, there's been a head wound and he is kind of cradling it from the pain.
Do you need some honey, some salt water, beer?
Those are all very interesting suggestions. What exactly would you do with the honey, the salt water, and the beer?
I figure you drink it.
It's better than the mayonnaise, personally. So
I've heard that drinking
mayonnaise too. We got a lot of mayonnaise.
I've heard that drinking salt water makes you go crazy, though.
I look at Kaimana. This explains some things, maybe.
So wine.
Shit, I forgot you could make wine.
We can, yeah.
We'll need that later. I was just hoping to find Mar because I was gonna go talk to my mom, but I don't really want to talk to her without Mar, but I might have to.
Would you like me to message her for you?
Yeah.
Alyria kind of steps back and casts. Marlo, you hear in your head, don't know what's going on, but Jury's frantically looking for you. In my chambers, I'm happy to lie.
I love her so much.
Just let me know.
Ride or die. She's so fucking
She's so good.
Just let me know. And then the message goes through. And Jury, the vision clears from Laura. I'll let you know when she gets back to me. So Marla, you can respond if you want to that message.
Yeah, I will say, Jury's always frantically looking for me. I'll be there shortly.
Okay. Alyria just says, she's fine, Jury. She's actually on her way here, but it might be a minute. I don't know.
Oh, thank you. That's great. I may need spell slots in case stuff goes bad, so I don't know how this talk's gonna go.
Wait, you said you're going to go talk to your mother and you might need to cast magic?
Yeah.
What kind of relationship do you have with your mother?
It's great. Deception check. Whoa, I rolled 18 plus 19.
Oh, you beat her insight.
Great. Yeah. You know, just like yeah.
So as if this mayonnaise is magical, that means it's fat-free, right?
Yes.
Perhaps.
Right. So we're just gonna get Kaimana to make wine and hang out.
Okay.
Until Abel or Mar gets here.
All right. Eventually, I mean, how long do you stay with Vicus, Marlo?
Oh, I mean, Vikings that are chilling so hard. I am going to what am I gonna do? Hold on. There was something I wanted to do and I forgot. Yes. I'm going to give Vicus an Eight of Swords tarot card. And I'm going to tell him, as this was given to me a while ago, when I was, still am, but just dealing with some stuff about who I am. And the person reading my fortune told me that you are who you are, and you get to decide that. Not anybody else.
And you don't need this anymore.
I don't think so.
Oh.
He takes it from you, like, well, I hope I have that strength in me one day.
You will.
He kind of puts it in a pocket in his, the inside of his cloak.
And I will. I don't know if I'll see you again. I'll try to before I leave. But yeah.
Well, be safe. And as much as he probably would be surprised to hear me say, keep Abel safe too.
I will.
He's kind of standing there as you leave the chamber.
Oh, no. This motherfucker's getting a hug. Wild that you thought I was
He's just standing there, so you go to hug him, and there's this like that awkward
I do a thing where it's like, like I very obviously telegraph that I'm coming in.
Yeah.
Like I want to come in for it.
Yeah.
But he's like,
he's still awkward about it, but it's very clear, like, he wants it.
I'm not awkward about it?
It's like two teenage boys trying
like
to hug.
super like
It's
pats your
like,
back.
I think it like starts as like a very stilted thing and grows into something.
Sure,
That's, like,
and it's an
actually
actual hug.
Yeah.
Which God knows when the last time Vicus got a hug. So
I'm
there
gonna
you go.
kill you. Stop making me at this point. Listen, I'm calling myself Werewolf CPS now.
Yeah.
Child Protection Services.
Alyria CPS.
They're mine now.
Yep.
Okay, and then I will go head to Alyria's chamber.
Okay, so as you're kind of walking out of this space, the Sovereign and several Buddha are kind of walking up, and she kind of gives you a look. I would ask why you're going into my chambers, but I assume that it is for a good reason.
Yeah, son's in there.
Oh, Vicus, I was so concerned. Thank you. He's in there now.
He is.
Thank you. And she kind of rushes forward, leaving the Buddha and to kind of pick up the pace to follow her as she goes into the chambers and shuts the door.
I restrain myself from saying anything, and I will go to Alyria's.
All right, so you arrive at Alyria's chambers as well. Abel, where does Abel go when he returns to the palace?
I want to go to my father.
Okay, so you're going to your father's. All right, so Marlo, you arrive in Alyria's chambers to find.
He's like, I kind of like being blue. I don't know when it'll wear off, but
You blue now.
yeah, I know.
Wow.
I think it's the magic.
What's wrong with you? Why are you blue?
I mean, it looks solid.
It happened at some point, and I really don't know when.
It's been a busy
It's a good look for you.
day.
I think it's not bad.
Pretty solid.
Bolton, is it really that different though? I mean, from like before,
It's very different.
you were like a greenish blue before, and now you're just blue.
It's a big difference.
Okay,
It is.
I
You
guess.
look better blue than I would.
Oh, you'd be cute blue.
You know, it'd be very easy to make Saurus blue. You could just
Look at you, devious.
dye his fur. It wouldn't be very difficult.
It would.
I want to be blue.
Harder on Kaimana, but
Why can't I be blue?
You could be blue if you want.
How?
I guess.
Tell
We
me
just
You
how.
dye
could
your
transform
fur.
into a blue otter.
It's like how we all got tattoos. It's like that. We all got tattoos, by the way. It's pretty cool.
How?
Okay, I have my Fez of Disguise. I turned myself blue.
Yes! 18 yeah! Oh, Mark.
yeah, a blue rat looks great.
I turn into a blue parakeet.
Cool, we're just all turning blue now. Nice.
Jury like narrows his eyes at you, but doesn't ask where you
Where's the
were.
bird?
That was
looking at
Kamana.
Lord.
You know, you just disappeared.
Why are you not used to this?
Last time you left me a note.
Listen, there was a lot going on.
That's fine.
I'll leave you a note next time.
I respect your boundaries.
Thank you.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I didn't.
No, they try to. They just don't always do
try
it.
to.
But it's well intentioned.
Well intentioned. That's a good. Yeah.
I'm gonna go land on Mars' head.
No, you mean you land on my hat and then I take it off? and
Yes.
go, okay. Why? No, actually, we'll talk.
Did you see Abel?
Mm-mm.
Worried about him.
I mean,
What's the range of our message earrings?
120 feet.
yeah.
Well, it's not I'll reach her.
Palace is pretty big.
No. It's that kind of palace. Okay.
I mean, I don't know what kind of palace is small, but okay, like palace, yeah.
That's a castle.
Yeah.
This is a palace.
Yeah.
What is a Versailles establishment, not a Dunbar kind of affair.
Do you want me to go look for Abel?
I mean, we can all go.
Okay.
Because I mean, I don't know if now is when we should talk to my mom, but we should at some point wrap that up.
You want to do that now after everything today?
Yeah,
That's
we're not
a
throwing
judgment
on the
question,
pile.
but
No, I mean legitimately.
it's a little bit of a judgment question.
I mean, the town is already half burned down. What's one more fire?
I'm not.
Wild way of looking at the world. Okay, yeah.
I'm not positive how long she's gonna stay here. Is my concern.
Yeah. Honestly, I would think. Honestly, the setup now is probably better for her than it was before. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. She said she was okay, but
Sure. Well, if you want to go now, then we certainly can.
yeah. Let's check in with April first.
All right. So you guys make your way out of the Alyria's chambers. And Abel, you kind of head into the palace, make your way to the tower where your parents live, where you lived until you went on your adventures. And you kind of find your father is laid up on a comfortable couch, his arm wrapped, just below the elbow joint. He's got a patch over his eye, and there's a bandage kind of covering his eye there. But he's kind of just laying on the couch, looking out a window at clouds as they drift by at window height.
Father, how are you feeling?
Well, about like I lost an arm and an eye. So not great, but good things have come from today. At least.
You did it. You and Mother, you protected Nuevea. You did something that everyone would say was impossible.
Yes. As Yakuzi has said, something that only the gods have done before.
We'll talk about Yakuzi later, but he won't be a concern anymore.
No.
But I will say, while I was making my way here, I thought of some ideas to help you. You shouldn't have to walk around with these physical limitations. So I sort of, just in my head, was thinking of a few constructs that I could build for you to help you compensate. So I'll get started on those as soon as I can.
My son has such a good mind.
Thank you. Are you being taken care of? Is there anyone else around?
Oh, I sent them all away. They were annoying me.
Anansi comes out from under the...
Anansi comes out. He's like, this one refused to go. But your mother will be returning soon, and we are, as always, enough for each other.
Maybe I'll send just a couple of people to look after you until she gets back. It may be a while. She has taken Yukuzi into custody.
Well, we could not have done the work today without him. It is distressing to know that he was involved in this somehow.
He's part of the reason that you are injured now, Father. There's no reason to be so sympathetic. You made his decisions.
It is difficult when someone has been your friend as long as you have been alive to not be sympathetic to them.
It's also difficult to be betrayed by someone that has looked at as they were family. So.
That is also true.
But I'm going to go and let you rest. Because I'm still sending a few people to look after you, so just try to be nice to them. Accept the help.
He kind of looks about the window again as clouds drift by. It just because someone is or makes bad choices doesn't mean they offer something to the world. Remember the parts of Yakuzi that taught you something worth remembering. It makes it easy to mourn the loss of a friend when you remember the good parts of them.
I completely agree, Father. Even the worst of us may have something positive to contribute. But it doesn't mean that he still has to have the same space in my heart that he did before.
Of course not. And he will face a trial, and he will face punishment for his choices.
That is all I ask. Let me find my friends and make sure they're all okay after today's events.
Of course.
Get some rest.
He is pretty much asleep before you leave the room.
I hold my hand out so Nancy can jump up on my hand and we can head out.
Yeah, Nancy joins you, and then you make your way downstairs.
We might have to consider changing your name, but that's a conversation for another day.
And Nancy kind of shimmers in your hand a little bit. Named after Praetor Anansi Yakuza.
That broke my fucking heart. My God.
That destroyed me.
Yeah.
What an incredible narrative result. Ronnie cannot compliment you more for that.
Ronnie.
Yes.
Right.
Beautiful. And so you make your way down as you leave the tower that you grew up in, make your way into the palace proper and into the main foyer where the ticket takers are all kind of reconverging in this moment.
Sorry.
And you see your friends there as you're descending to the steps down into the foyer, and the ticket takers are all finally back together again.
Jury runs up to you.
Except Kaimana's a parakeet.
Yeah. Are you okay? How did everything go? You don't have to talk about it right now if you don't want to, but you can.
Lean in and give Jury the biggest hug.
I scoop everyone else into it. I pawing at you to get into the hug.
Tilt your camera down, or Abel.
What?
There you go. I was just all I could see was from here down. I
You just can't.
I
was like, whoa, we're in that kind of show now. All right.
Streaming on OnlyFans. I said,
the mage scoops us together.
Yes, today was the worst day of my life for several reasons, and I'm glad that you all were here to help me make it through.
Yeah, of course.
How is your father?
Surprisingly well. He is resting now. He will be fine. He will get back to his full strength in no time. How was everyone else? The Princess Alyria, Vicus, the Queen?
Vicus is fine.
You spoke with Vicus?
Yeah.
That's where you...
Where is he now?
In his mother's chambers with her.
Okay. I suppose.
Yeah, we cannot talk about that one here. Stupid cat.
No, that's for the best.
That's
They
fine
have-
as long as he's okay.
Us.
He is not okay, but I think he will be.
Been there.
I think that's a theme for us all. Okay. Judy, how is your mother?
I haven't gone yet.
Okay.
He's hoping we could go together. It's fine if everything that's happening, obviously. You don't have to, but
No, I think it might be good for us to be seen traveling through the island. It might be a good thing, and of course, we'll be there to support you.
you guys are partly why I didn't get on a ship with Yorian. I need you to ground me here, make sure I don't make that kind of decision.
You make good decisions on your own as well.
I make better decisions with you guys.
We'll take the credit if we have to.
Yeah. Not the ones you help with. I like shove you a little bit.
Okay, should we head that way? Has anyone heard from the rats? I have to ask this stuff. That
Yeah. We fill you in on all
Yeah.
the basic shenanigans.
all right.
As we go, Source is going to reach into one of his pockets and slide you an eye patch.
Oh.
Thank you, Soda-san.
And just not say anything, just
Yeah.
I'm sure my father will appreciate the gift.
they're very stylish.
They are. You're very handsome with yours.
Oh, he's blue now.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, he is still blue. Yeah.
Why am I still blue? I thought it would just wear off.
At this point, like a third of the ticket takers are blue. So
Okay,
over half
well, I
the
guess-
ticket takers are blue.
Okay, well, I guess we'll knock ones out now.
it looks like.
Well, and I will say we could take the night easy and kind of catch everyone out on what's going on. We could go tomorrow morning. That's fine too.
Are you sure you want to wait? Go ahead, Mark.
No, Abel, after you.
No, if you want to wait, we will. But I mean, a lot of devastation occurred, and it's up to you completely. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
I agree with Abel. I was also going to say, I mean, you all used a lot of magic today, and I don't exactly know what we're expecting to get into in this situation, but if we need to be prepared for something, it might be wise to rest up. I also feel like shit right now. Like, I really just could take about 2 hits before going down.
Big Marlowe. So.
You did do a remarkable job fighting the dragon.
As did you, my
I am
friend.
extremely impressed by the both of you. So
Really wish we could have got it, though, huh? Really wish we could have got that last bit.
Yeah, but you chased a dragon off.
We chased a dragon off. Besides, I'm not the one who keeps getting on dragons' backs. That's about the coolest thing I can think of.
Yeah.
It seemed to work the first time, so... And he can't bite me if I'm there.
Oh no, it's brilliant. And I get to attack him while looking in your eyes.
You mean I.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Mark, I know Asler's important, so if we're on a time frame, I want to finish things here as fast as possible.
I think regardless, that Abel would at least want to stay one more day. I would
Yeah.
think.
All right, let's.
We take
Okay.
the time we need here, and we'll
Yeah. Well, I'll explain to them the. Oh God.
Okay, I'll say Jury's like, especially with how late it is now.
Mhm.
Let's rest up, talk some, and then tomorrow morning we can do it. Whatever else we want to talk about, how long we want to run game, that's cool. But just for timetable wise.
Sure, yeah.
Source has a question for Abel.
Yes, Source.
Who's steering the city?
I would be honest with you. I am not sure about the particulars of this spell, but believe me, if my mother and father were involved, it is all taken care of.
I mean, you might not have
Because
to.
if we're heading towards Azalor, or at least close to that general direction, staying one night won't hurt us because we're already making ground.
Well, with Cloud City,
can we tell? Which,
Kaimana, make a survival or nature check.
Let me see.
Since you've been the navigator for the ticket takers for the ship.
you have it, even though you have no proficiency.
24.
24. So
no, he's learned something. God damn it!
So looking,
You're in survival, right?
so you kind of ask that question, Saurus, and kind of what direction they're traveling in, and Kaimana, the bird, stares up into the stars for a moment. And it's like looking around. Kaimana, you get the sense that the city is moving slightly northwest, away from the Vale area where the island was located, and it's kind of northwest, which from all of the reports of where Azalor is located is in the direction of Azalor. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so kind of.
I'll translate from Beast speech.
Yeah, look around. There's a bit of this going on where he's like,
I can also speak beast speech.
Yeah, Marlo and Saurus.
My shoulder and be like, yeah.
Jury and I are just sitting back watching the chaos.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
So Kaimana communicates that to you through via beast speech. Yeah.
points to the screen like,
Abel, you ever think about how we're like not animally?
Well, at least you all are blue now.
It's like 3 of us are similar and then 2 are different.
I've got highlighter. Hold on, and I like put blue highlighter on Abel.
Just let it happen.
It's
My coat's blue. Does that count?
yes, 100%.
I'm sorry, did you say we were moving closer to Azalor? Or?
I mean, you're not moving quickly. Like the city's not like zooming anywhere, but it is drifting in the direction of Azalor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
like-
listening, but not like registering. What
Oh,
was-
no, it's fine. Yeah.
I would like to. Are we just like in a hallway right now?
I feel like you guys are walking like,
I think we're going towards
To,
the
like, a-
chambers.
Yeah, chamber. Okay.
yeah, because you decided to like, you're walking back to your
We're
chambers,
gonna-
like your guest chambers. Yeah.
Get in there. I would like to, and like shut the door and stuff. I would like to activate the ring of hushed whispers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ooh,
Get this
fancy.
conversation a little private, and I would go, all right, so Vicus is really in the clear.
About doing bad things with the.
Vicus didn't even know he was a rock shop, so.
Who?
Kaimana, unshape change. This is serious.
I only see Jury say that.
He literally did say that. Please.
I'm back from a bird. Come on, I believe.
Quit tweeting at me and
Have this conversation face to face. Stop tweeting.
dispel magic worked on you. I swear to God.
Doesn't.
I'll say to speak to that same topic. Upon confronting Yukuzi, we were able to figure out exactly what the scope of his betrayal was. And part of it was the selling of the Zephrysite to a priori, or the delivery of Zephrysite to a priori, to deliver designs of his own creation to a priori, and he operated as the bishop for the organization.
How many bishops do they have?
2.
That's how many are in chess, right? 2 bishops?
Yeah.
Well,
4.
technically 4, but yeah.
4 in the whole game, right?
Yeah, mhm.
One
Well,
side.
on the one side, not
Yeah.
Fine.
But this is the second bishop you all have encountered.
I thought we had a third bishop. No, Haverly's dead.
Haverly was a tower.
How the tower,
Mhm.
and then that tower went to Whistleton,
Mm-hmm.
allegedly.
Allegedly. Mhm.
I mean, you're
And
operating.
Yusef was the other bishop.
That's
Yusef was the other bishop, yeah. Mhm. Or is the other bishop, yeah, still. Mhm.
Yeah.
He did escape, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jury, if you want, puts a hand on your arm. Talking about it.
Thank you, Judy. It was very devastating to learn, but I would much rather operate under the truth, no matter how much it hurts.
I understand.
So,
So with that being said, if we're operating under the truth, you wouldn't be mad if I said I told Vargas that he was a Rakshasa?
I was just about to ask exactly.
You told him? You were the one who told him?
Why wouldn't you read through the lines and see that I
We
told
made a whole list about not talking about certain things with the boys, and then this.
Rakshasa's not on that
To be
list.
fair,
Saurus!
to be fair, I didn't
No,
say,
I'm sure.
to be fair, I didn't say Rakshasa. I just said, I'm a werewolf, I get it. And he repeatedly did not know what I was talking about. So I didn't say anything.
No, that's fine.
But
Okay.
he was obviously as devastated and terrified as anyone who's been lied to their whole life about what they are. And he will be confronting his mother about it, as I think he should.
God, why does that sound so familiar? Oh, I see. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, that's the. Yep. Okay.
So I'm sorry that I,
No, Mar.
did a thing that. No, I'm not really apologizing to you on this one, Jerry. I appreciate
That's
it,
fine.
but this one's for Abel. I'm sorry that I did that. I
I
had a
understand.
feeling something was wrong, and I was right, and he needed to know.
I understand why you feel it so strongly as you do, and the apology is not mine to accept or not. That is between Vicus and his family, honestly. But I can respect why you feel the way you do.
Thank you.
And knowing what I know now, I don't disagree. He does deserve to know.
Yeah, he said he, hopes you continue to be safe.
Oh.
Rob,
No, we lost Rob at the exact
We lost.
wrong moment.
Robe.
Rob vanished from the call. Saurus practicing his rogue techniques.
Yes.
Man down.
Jerry is misty-eyed at you two having this conversation.
No. It had to happen.
It's such a Mar Abel conversation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
all right, so
Oh shit.
yeah.
I pull out the book.
You pull out the book.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Rob's back.
So you pull out the book. How much of it do you show to everybody?
I don't know. I'm a bit ashamed. Honestly, Abel would be a bit ashamed. Because he doesn't completely disagree with Jacuzzi. I might just tell them I retrieved this while we were taking Yakuza into custody. And I think it warrants my attention. Please just talk amongst yourselves while I thumb through it.
All right. So as the ticket takers begin to draw in for the evening, Abel diving into a book of very interesting information, and a day ahead dealing with juries.
Also, is this when Soros gives us the thing? Just asking, Rob.
Yes.
And Soros also.
I would assume this is when he would.
So Soros pulls off with Jury and with Mar and shares with them the paperwork.
And Parakeet Kaimana.
And Parakeet Kaimana. The information that's there. So with an evening of quiet reading ahead of the ticket takers.
Okay.
Soros does message Jane and say something to the effect of, last time you freaked out when I told you we face creatures, so I'm not going to mention 4 dragons and the fact that Nuevea is now flying.
No.
Everything's fine. Hope you're well.
What a
Worse
message.
messaging than Mars, which is unbelievable.
What a message. As Jane just responds with, I was sleeping, but now I won't be able to. I'm glad you're okay.
During the night, Abel's going to find Alyria and just spend some buddy time with Alyria.
Okay.
Going over like, you won't fucking believe what the asshole said to me. My mother standing right
Yes.
Yes. All right. But with the evening ahead and with some reading of lore and things ahead of you, and then dealing with Jury's mother. Momfrontation tomorrow. We'll go ahead and end there and pick up next time.
Oh my gosh.
Do we expect a battle during Momfrontation?
Did you?
We never expect a battle, but
My mom's a fae. Who knows what might happen?
Yeah.
Right.
It may be just like fun for her.
I mean, it could be totally chill. Jury's just like, I don't know what's gonna happen at all.
She gets like nostalgic. She's like, "Oh, I haven't had
There's,
one of
like-
these in years."
I feel like the sense you get is like,
for some years.
yeah, Jury's being like too chill about it whenever we're talking about it. He's like, yeah, it'll be great, it'll be fine. Whatever happens, it's fine.
That'll be fun.
Good. Great.
Devastating for Fury, but a lot of fun.
You know,
Well,
not as bad as the first time.
Unless.
Unless.
and
Yeah, my
Abel,
things
hell of
might
a
be
job
different.
role playing tonight.
Oh my
Oh my
fucking
god, Abel!
Incredible.
What the fuck?
Every-
Amazing. That is like easily top 5. Like
I was
fucking
so mad I had to kill a
moments.
cockroach during it.
Is pretty.
It's so upsetting to me.
I'm gonna send you the picture of the spider too, bro.
Oh no!
That-
Please don't send this picture of that spider to anybody.
They're not even like in cahoots together to ruin our game night.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
I had a whole speech written for Praetor Yakuzi, and Abel just steamrolled him, and it was fantastic. So
I love that.
Yeah, that
It
was
so good.
that was badass,
Oh
Ronnie.
my
Yeah.
god! I got
Josh, you're so
fuck my
good as
villain
a villain.
speech. Yeah,
the chat.
No, that was great. He was fucking terrifying.
I'll put it. I'll put his speech in the chat so y'all can read it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got most of the ideas from it into responses to him, but yeah,
Mhm.
All right, good night, y'all.
yeah. Night,
Night,
guys.
All right.
Good night.